Hello and welcome to the next bonus video review for the Wind and the Willows series. This week it's Toad in Motion, episode 4 from series 5. I like this one. This was on the originally released on the bumper special video that had 5 episodes on it. Yeah, it's a great one. It's got Toad, you know, obsessed with another craze, and the Weasels are cheating him yet again, and we have an interesting new character in this one, a new Weasel. So let's get into it. Toad in Motion. I'm just going to press play on the episode right now. Okay, so looking at my trusty guide, Toad in Motion was actually directed by Francis Foes. All the ones I've reviewed for Series 5 so far have been directed by him. And of course animated by Andrea Lord and Stuart Sutcliffe. So it's the usual sort of crew for Francis Foes on those episodes. So yes, so this one, I remember getting that bumper special video in a shop in Oxford. Gosh, it must have been in the late 1990s. But I remember seeing it as a child in a boots shop and begging my mum to buy it. She just said no, she wouldn't, for whatever reason. Eventually got it in the end. But yeah, this one, it's an interesting one. Let's turn the volume up a little bit. Can't hear it too well. So, as always, Series 5 episodes start with Toad reading through his diary, looking back over the week's events. And this is him, he opens this episode with, by talking about his obsession with kind of, well, his enthusiasm with like physics, and so he's talking about gravity here and Isaac Newton. So he's getting all the facts wrong. It's really funny. So he's got the names there. All the names are there, but it's just he's mixed them all up, which is quite a nice touch. So we've got the usual sort of opening. We've got the 4 characters that they are in Toad Hall. Badger reading his paper. The interesting anecdote with Badger, or Michael Horden, who did his voice, was that that was Michael Horden. He would read the paper during the script sessions. He knew his lines thoroughly, knew them so well, and according to Francis Foes, he would literally have his paper and he'd be very careful not to crease it. The microphone was there, and whenever he had a line, he would gently just lift the paper down, lean over and speak into the microphone and go back to his paper again. I'm amazed that he could do that. But he just knew the scripts thoroughly, he knew the other actors thoroughly and their deliveries. And, yeah, so just an interesting anecdote. So he's just like Badger in this sense. Badger's just reading away. I love Toad's waistcoat there. So here we go, cutting outside. We've got this new Weasel, voiced by Jimmy Hibbert, and his brother Bert, so the Chief Weasel's brother. He looks a bit like the Chief Weasel. I think he's the same puppet, or the same mould at least, from another Weasel that we only saw once in Unlikely Allies, a Series 3 episode that I haven't reviewed yet, but yeah, I can see it's the same puppet, the same sculpt. But this character, Brother Bert, isn't seen in any other episode. It's totally exclusive to this one. And it's a nice addition to have like new characters like that coming in every now and then. I love that. I love how David Jason takes off Badger. He does it in a few episodes. Just go like that. I always thought Toad looked so glossy in these episodes. I mean, he's all that new paint application that they did, updating it and brightening it. He looks so glossy and almost wet. You know, almost like he's fresh out of a pond. So this is Toad now. Thinking away, thinking loud rather. I love this animation. Look at that. Just the eye, and then the eye sorry, the finger sort of twitching like that, tapping and the eye going around. Beautiful animation. You can see his train of thought there.
Very keen on being famous. Yeah. Well, I think we can put
So,
a scheme together out of
Brother
that.
Bert is kind of.
Reckon we can bronze the famous Mr. Toad.
I mean, it could have been another weasel.
Just you watch me, brother.
Or the Chief Weasel could have come up with this, but it's kind of refreshing to have somebody else coming in. And it's a new kind of con, as we can see. Look at his costume there, that's his disguise. And so it's clever, the Chief, really, you know, Toad, why would Toad suspect the Chief? He looks like he's just bringing along this other weasel to see Toad, so...
Because I am looking for someone with vision, someone with imagination.
So I think he's trying to be German, he's saying all these... trying to sound German here and there. That's Jimmy Hibbert. I mean, Jimmy Hibbert's great. He did so many voices for Cosgrove Hall, and he still does voices now and writes scripts as well. He actually wrote a few scripts for some of the shows I worked on, which I found out later. And I've animated his voice. It's amazing. When I listen to The Wind and the Willows, I can hear his voice in the character I animated, which was Stretchy in Little Robots.
It is the most important invention. Ein fantastischer Maschine. Und together, man und machine will conquer the mysteries of the universe. That's just what the catalogue.
So of course the weasels have heard that, have heard Toad say that. That's
Mr. Toad, you and the professor.
The Chief said, two of a kind. All part of the plot, of course. All part of the plan. I don't quite know what the weasels are doing then. Brother Bert stopped the Chief from doing something else. I don't know, didn't quite communicate there. He misunderstands, doesn't he, Toad?
What he means, Toad, is what he's going to tell you is so secret. You mustn't tell nobody about it. Aye, especially not Badger or Rat or Mole. You're absolutely right.
So I've talked about previous episodes with Paul Berry, for instance, and Sue Pugh, who had such slick and clean animation. But this is the absolute case here as well. Different animators, a different crew, but they knew the characters thoroughly by this point. And you see the way Toad's lips move when he's still, so he holds a pose. Just rub the hands there.
Trouble? Well, it ain't Bill. What? It is drawing slowly. Oh, I see. And that is why I looking for you.
And like I say, I find this episode refreshing because it's not the usual sort of con that the Weasels have gone in for. I think it's a clever script. It's a different way of conning him. And the Chief sort of is acting like he's coming in on this now. So there's this perpetual motion machine that's been invented but not built.
I would naturally name it after my benefactor.
And Toad being Toad, of course he falls for this. Of course he wants to be famous. That's number one. So any ounce of sense that he has disappears completely when fame is offered to him, you know. And I like this. I like when he mentions Ratty Mole and Badger sort of.
Or rat, or moon.
Nice pacing, because you've got the three characters. You've got one weasel shakes his head, other weasel shakes his head, and the next character mentioned, and then both of them for the final character. So typical construction again. Ratty Mole Badger talking about Toad, you know, and Mole in this case. Now, interestingly, the series before this, of course, Series 4, focused on the railway problem, and much of the conversation that Rat, Mole and Badger had about the railway was about the railway during such scenes, but now every conversation seems to be about Toad, which was the focus of Series 5. Toad became the centre of it, even more so than before. There's one or two in Series 5 that slightly outside that formula, but generally it's Toad is the star.
What? Well, I mean, I know you.
Oh, that jacket still exists. The jacket that the Brother Bert's wearing there as the scientist, laboratory's coat.
No, that's all right. I mean, I couldn't stand it if I wasn't famous. If I thought
Ever
I
wasn't famous.
failed science.
So that's clever of the chief, really, to say, oh, maybe we should forget it. You can't keep paying out.
Get the money.
And it makes Toad think even more. You know, you just can't let this go.
Taking sweets for a baby.
That silly wiggle you've got. So already, quite quickly actually, we've already gone back to, well, just Rat in Mole, but in Ratty's house. Nice that it's broken up. We see different sets. Yeah, different locations. I think by this point, in Brian Tubman's script, he just writes, you know, whichever. Almost doesn't matter which house they're in. And it doesn't really, if you think about it. It could have been anywhere in these scenes. Apart from Toad Hall, of course. So this is another one of those beautiful props that those prop makers did. I don't know what sort of research went into this one, because a perpetual motion machine. I don't know if they existed in this form. You know, I don't know if this is a pure invention, design-wise, by Cosgrove Hall, or whether Brian Truman, you know, found it in that trusty book that he had on Victorian inventions and things. But it's something that moves, it works, it's got moving parts. Don't know where it is now, but it's a beautiful piece. Love that. Bad German accent explaining to Toad how it works. It's actually a clever invention. I mean, the only fault I think with this episode is the fact that he's got this. The Weasel's got this. I mean, do we suppose that he's stolen it, he's nicked it from somewhere, or has he actually built this? I mean, obviously, yeah, he has. He's built it here at Toad Hall, hasn't he? But he's got all these parts. It looks very nice. It looks very good. Is this a clever Weasel? And if he's that clever, how is it not working? It's just a slight weird aspect of the episode, and there's certainly later on as well. We've got the henchman. First time we see the henchman. I don't see much of him in this episode. It's almost like the chief's got a new partner. Look at that beautiful animation of it working. The camera moves there. Look at that, beautifully done.
I see it, Mr. Toad, I see it. Woo! I bet I'll get a knighthood for this. Oh, sir, Toad. Woo, woo. I say, I'm off. Just wait till that.
He's being so foolish. He's leaving Toad Hall unattended with those two villains in it.
Yes. Very well, carry on.
And it just goes to his head, and that's a huge character trait, isn't it, of Toad? You know, that's everything. All the sense just goes out the window when he's got success on his mind, or you know, he thinks he's going to be famous. I love that shot of him running out there. And running in this series has always been, I think, not always worked so well. To get a character to run convincingly, he's got to get some pace to it. In Paper Chase, it works. But other episodes are a bit too slow.
Do stop saying it. There. Look at that.
Face drops there.
You see?
I love the way he's dragged Badger upstairs, and Ratty and Mole follow. And yet Badger's the oldest one with the walking stick. Toad's outfit there, that exists still in the archive. Nice bits and pieces still around.
I mean, I'll just keep going again and then you'll see. No, really, Badger, just watch. It's absolutely amazing.
So this is where, yeah, Toad is starting this machine, and obviously
Sorry.
obviously it isn't working. But this is why I'm just wondering, you know, if it's built, it's there. surely it wouldn't take a lot to get it working properly.
You have.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive with it. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear any of your thoughts on it. Cause,
Well, didn't you have a silver cup in that corner? Yes, it's the one that... Where is it? I can guess.
the other characters got some nice costumes in this episode as well. That lovely red jumper that Ratty's wearing.
Oh dear. A lot of your
Old
paintings
Maltese blue cardigan there. That bear toad all there was paintings.
My shoulder, my paintings, my
We know where, of course, we know by whom.
Oh, oh.
I love it when I see animation of Toad fainting.
You are a vainglorious simpleton. Badger, what are we going to do? Yes. Oh, whatever we think of Toad, yeah, what? We can't
I love that.
get away
Yeah,
with it.
what?
Indeed, we cannot.
And not only just the delivery of the line, but the fact that Toad's following, tracking Ratty as he's walking along. It's just a nice touch.
If it did work, it would be worth an awful lot. Yeah, but it isn't working. How do they know it isn't?
So this is Ratty now,
In the first
pretty much saving the day, and he's saying, how do they know it isn't
I see what
working?
you mean. My word, yes. What are you all on about? I think, Toad, that Ratty might have saved the day.
So now they're going to convince the weasels that it's working. And they're basically bronzing the weasels in return. But I don't know why the weasels would believe that. It's just a bit of a flaw for me. I don't know. I don't quite buy it. But there's Toad's classic costume there. Check costume. Ratty's got his blue and white jacket. It's quite nice. It's almost like a nod back to the previous series. We don't see those costumes often in this series. But they're already laughing about the perpetual motion machine, and Brother Bert is out of his costume. So we know they've been bronzed, but in previous episodes the characters would just threaten the weasels, and the weasels have to give back the money and everything. So yeah, for me it doesn't quite work this episode, but I still like it. I think it's great. It's some great moments in it, and some nice ideas, but script-wise, it's just a bit odd.
Don't see why we should go to London to tell them about something.
I don't know. What do you all think? It'd be interesting to hear what you think of this one, because every time I look at it, I'm never quite convinced with the script.
Tell us more. Don't you think it sounds good, Lord Toad?
Lord Toad. There we go. So Lord Toad's mentioned again.
Patron and owner of the Toadus Perpetual Motion Machine. Toadus Here, that's my invention. But you abandoned it. And Toad supplied all the money for it. We want our invention. Well, I'm awfully sorry, but it's ours. I don't know. I don't think. You don't know? I thought you said it'd never work. I can't understand it. I must have done it right, but...
So that's, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes it work, doesn't it? The chief said, I thought you said it would never work.
Hundreds of thousands.
So it's an invention that...
Look, I'm sure we can
And,
come to
yeah, Brother Bert saying, oh, it can be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands.
arrange. Well, do a deal.
Look at the henchman at the back there, just taking the back seat, basically.
I've got money. Mr. Toad, money, and Mr. Toad painting. And my silver. Well, you can have all that, and all the money, and all my money, and all his money, and... Oh, well...
So easy answer, isn't it? So no, it isn't working.
Oh, no. Don't start again.
But I mean, sorry, I'm not talking a lot in this one, but yeah, it just I'm trying to fathom it out. Really, it's a funny one because you think, well, how did they get the invention to them? Did the weasels come to Toad Hall? And if they had, when they insisted that they saw it working before they got it back to the weasels' den, before they did all the money and everything, you wonder what went on, between that, or did the other Toad, Ratty, Mole, and Badger bring the invention to the weasels' den and then just leave it? I don't know. I'm reading too much into it, I guess. But I do find with the series 5 episodes, they're a little bit more immature is the wrong word, but do you know what I mean? They're a little bit I know there are some wonderful episodes in it, and it's got so much charm, and it's bright and colourful and delightful. But I just think that the series overall was at its most mature probably in series 4 when we had that railway problem. And some of these episodes were just kind of, I mean, it's a spin-off series. The ratings had gone down a little bit, so they wanted to kind of spruce it up. And I think as a result, some of the scripts were just a bit far-fetched, I guess you could say. A bit far-fetched and not as mature, I think, as they were. Prime example was A Toad in Time, which I haven't reviewed that yet, but I do love that one actually. But it's, yeah, when you're putting the characters in time machines and things, you know that it's probably time to end the series. Many of them have said it was a series too many, but I'm very grateful that these were made. And Mr. Toad and the world. Yeah, so I do love that episode. I think it's really it is a nice idea, but just an odd script with some just some flaws in it, I think. But yeah, I'd love to hear your comments in it and know what you think. So there we go. So that's it for another 4 weeks for Series 5. In 4 weeks' time, I shall be reviewing Midsummer Night's Disaster. It's another Francis Rose episode, and there's only one more of his after that as well. Midsummer Night's Disaster. Quite appropriate actually, because it'll be a bit after Midsummer, but there you go. But I love that one as well. That's probably one of my absolute favourites of Series 5. But otherwise, for the regular reviews, it is Hot Air next week from Series 4. So please do tune in for that one. Tune in? Do we say tune in anymore? A bit of a weird expression now, I guess, to tune in. But this is a channel, I guess, YouTube channel. Anyway. Happy Father's Day to all dads out there, and enjoy the continuing lovely summer weather. And I shall see you next week. All the best, and see you soon. Intelligent Mr. Toad, encouraging Mr.